Hello. What's up, everybody? What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday. Hope you guys had a good week. I forgot. I gotta move the chat box. Let's put it that way. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to turn off the chat box in the screen. I need all the screen space for tonight. Anyway, I think most of you guys know what's about to happen. Van Balen uploaded 2 audio recording of hearings that took place involving Miss Pauline Richie Moore. They were interesting. So we're gonna have to pay attention to this. I've already got my alcohol for the night because I know I'm gonna need it. The heart rate monitor's there. So, let's not waste any more time.
Hey, Miss Richie.
No, I don't think.
No, Diana L. isn't?
No.
Okay, is Miss Richie present?
Oh, I will say that while doing this, I will eventually have the, need to showcase it for you. I will have the treaty up for you right there, so we can both take a look at it together as we go along.
I represent Miss Richie.
Okay, but the person that we claim is, that the court claims is Miss Richie, is that person present?
I'm representing Miss Richie and the Republican form of government.
Okay. Well, first thing you got to do, sir, is come on video, so I can see you on video, because that's the...
Hey, Ryan, thank you very much for the 500 secs. Wow. Have about 58 bucks, courtesy of the 25th being the traditional salary disbursement day in Sweden. Might as well give you some secs, because it's not like I'm getting any anyway myself. Well, you know, I don't get much sex these days either. So, hey, having 500 of them, not bad.
Courtroom.
I'm on. Oh,
No,
oh, sorry.
on video.
Sorry.
You got audio on. We're good there.
How do I cut the video on?
I think you just, are you on a phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on my computer.
Just go to the bottom. If you got a mouse or something, you go to the bottom left part of the screen. It says join video. And it's got to look like a little camera looking.
Hey, what's up, Chuck?
I got a camera. I'm recording already.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I don't see my face.
No, I know, but if you go down to the
$5
little
super chat from a shrimp, not a sit.
Line, it'll say start video. There's a little camera looking thing with a red line through it.
Salud.
Okay, do you want me to stop my video?
No, I want you to start your video. because you're not
Okay.
showing.
Okay, let me stop it and start it again.
Okay.
Okay, the video started.
You got a camera?
Yes, I do.
No, it's just your camera. Audio by anybody? Video.
The camera
Okay,
anyway.
then we're
You don't
good.
wanna-
We're good with you just speaking. So, it's not the right, but the ability, practically, the fact that we can hear you and you can hear us. That's acknowledged.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so right now, without the record reflecting that Miss Ritchie's present, can we proceed with anything today, Miss Castleton?
I think so. There was a competency evaluation which opined that she was competent.
Okay.
At least one of the matters is on, assuming that the court finds her competent, is on for arraignment. And so I do believe that we need her present for arraignment.
Okay.
So that is my concern.
So, Miss and King Abdul, I'll come back to you in just a moment. But,
This is a court hearing, yes.
Yes, Your Honor. I was assigned to this case, to Ms. Ritchie's matters when she was remanded into custody. I believe previously she was essentially representing herself and had declined assistance from the public defender. If there are additional charges that the city wishes to levy, I do believe that she does need to be present. I understand that there was a medical furlough, and so I think it's, if there are ongoing medical issues, that it would be appropriate to set this matter out so that those could resolve and that we can have a better idea of what's going on with her and her ability to be here. So
Okay.
that would be my concern. It would be her health at this point. And I don't think that we could proceed, or that the court could proceed, in my opinion, without her being present. I also was informed that I believe she is being represented by King Abdul, and so I'm not sure.
Is she, though?
Would be proceeding forward as her own counsel, or if I'm to remain on. I do know that it's my understanding that Miss Ritchie is a
the sigh right beforehand. The sigh.
a universal, original, indigenous, sovereign person through the Moorish American Moroccan consular court.
That is a mouthful.
And because of that position, it is not consistent, or I would not have the ability to assist her without her wanting that help. So I think that given her status, she certainly would have the right to represent herself and have assistance, outside by whoever she wanted to have assist her in dealing with these matters. But in terms of going forward today, I don't know that the court can do that.
In just a moment.
And because there's a health issue, I think unless that's resolved, she certainly should remain out of custody.
So you're suggesting, and Ms. Castleton is suggesting today, my choice is to either resummon Miss Ritchie to come back to court on another date, or issue a warrant for her arrest. Those are my two choices.
I think so.
Ms. Hawkins?
Your Honor, there's no choice of that matter at all.
Just a moment. I'll come back to you.
Okay,
so,
because,
I'll come back.
Thank you.
Ms. Hawkins?
Your Honor, it would be, I would say that the court should resummons her.
Okay. So, King Abdul, I'm going to let you speak, but speak on, I'm going to let you speak. But as I've already advised you of, if you practice law, it's an issue. And I know that you and I might disagree on the interpretation of the law.
Okay, so they already know that he's not licensed. All right.
It's fair that everybody has the right to interpret things the way they'd like. I still have to enforce it the way it's written. So go ahead and tell me anything you wish to say.
Yes, you're talking about some law that you wrote that I have to abide by?
No, it's the law the legislature wrote, and there's also the Constitution, the state and federal Constitution. For instance,
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Ritchie, just a moment.
This is pre-recorded, Archangel.
Miss Ritchie, under Article 1, Section 22 of our state constitution, she has a right to appear in person to defend. I cannot do things in absentia. In criminal case, there's a CRLJ 3.4A that requires at an arraignment that I cannot act. I cannot act on behalf of the court on an arraignment without her physical presence.
Which is true.
Now by Zoom or in person. So I'd be violating the Constitution today by going forward with an arraignment, because that's basically trying somebody or advising them of the charges in absentia, and that's illegal.
Okay.
Okay, the idea is to summons her for but what I'm leaning towards is, because there might be a misunderstanding, summons her for another day, and then you can certainly communicate back with her and saying, Judge Larson, even though you might disagree with me, sir, Judge Larson believes that Article 1, Section 22 of the state constitution prohibits her from acting unless she's present. At least not acting. I can act by issuing a warrant for her arrest, but I can't proceed with an arraignment without her physically present.
Sir, there's a problem. I heard you speak about the U.S. Constitution,
Right.
as well as the state constitution. And Article 6 of the U.S. Constitution shows that you're bound to the supreme law of the land. Is that correct?
Well, the Constitution does say it's the supreme law of the land. The U.S. Constitution
Sir,
is.
I'm asking you a question. I'm not asking you to paraphrase. I'm asking you a question. It's a yes or no.
And already he's raising my blood pressure by interrupting the judge and basically being disrespectful right off the bat.
Is the supreme law of the
I asked you a question, yes or no question. I didn't ask you to expound.
land you're bound by, correct?
Oh, to the extent it applies, yes.
Hey, Mike.
And what is the supreme law of the land? Because you're telling me I need to practice law with bar members.
Yeah.
That's not going to work for a Moor. I'm a Moor. I'm a noble.
Understood.
And,
I don't give a shit.
I respect that, sir.
all right. Well, what I'm explaining to you, I'm asking you simple questions that will lead you to the process, which
Okay.
is to for Empress like Tajiri Bay, or as known as Pauline Denise Ritchie Moore.
Okay.
Okay. So now what I'm talking to you about is your oath, your authority to do anything on this land per the supreme law of the land. So I'm asking you again, you're bound to the supreme law of the land, correct?
Yeah, I am. Well, just a moment. Just a moment, sir. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Sir,
Yes.
okay. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Okay. The supreme law of the land is the Iroquois Moorish American Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787 and
Which is
1836.
Which is the document that's above my head right now, apparently. This. He thinks this is the supreme law of the land.
This treaty is a document of the Revolutionary War where the Moors defeated the 13 colonies.
As soon as I heard that one, that's where I'm like, I'm going to need a bit more alcohol if I'm going to listen to the rest of this shit.
And created the United States of America in
Okay.
1787.
Okay.
So now, when you look at the Article 6, can I share the screen, please?
Okay. Yes.
How do
Oh,
I
no.
do that?
Did you submit a document already? Is it already in the court file?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
then I can project. If it's the same one, I think I can project it for you.
Okay.
Just a moment.
John, actually, it's not. The treaty above my head is actually valid. It is the oldest treaty that the United States has that is still in effect between the United States and Morocco. So it's not toilet paper. It is an actual valid and still in effect a treaty. It's just these Moors think it says something that it actually doesn't.
But I'm really talking about the U.S. Constitution at this time. And what's the supreme law of the land?
Yeah. And what you're, go ahead.
That's not my paperwork. I don't know who that is.
Well, that was what was submitted to the court.
That's not my
Well, bear in mind that this is a trespass case.
paperwork, sir.
Okay.
I submitted my notice of appearance and all documents to your court. And
Just a moment. There's more. There's a lot of pages here. Just a moment.
well, let me submit my own. I can share my own screen because I don't
Okay,
recognize
but-
that stuff.
Right. But I'm going to go through every page so you can see. I don't know.
That was submitted by Ms. Ritchie.
Oh, it's submitted by Miss Ritchie. Okay.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be what you submitted. So if you want to, because I don't have the ability to permit you to share the screen here, at least from my screen. So if you want to email it to the court and then we can project it.
Hold on a second. It's already here, but let's go over.
Okay, I'll answer your question when we get into the meat of when he starts getting into the meat of the actual treaty. That's where I'll actually expound a bit more about what the treaty says, why it was made, why it was entered into, and so on. So hold those questions for later on.
I have it.
Okay, so Ms. Hawkins, could you email it to me and Ms. Castleton, then I'll open it up and project it for,
Sure.
okay?
Okay. So let me finish talking, sir, because like you said, you knew it was going to take some time. My job is to conduct a federal criminal investigation on judges and lawyers and the whole United States government for human trafficking Moorish Americans and killing them for sport. Now, this law you're talking about, as far as me practicing law on my land, I think you better get a check at what's the supreme law of the land, sir.
Okay.
Now, Miss Hawkins, I believe you are being real quiet at this time when you shouldn't be, when you know you don't know law. As you discussed, I have you on audio where you said you don't know law. You know what the supreme law of the land. You didn't know what the supreme law of the land was. You called the Constitution that.
And she's right.
And you know statutes and codes aren't law,
They are law.
Your Honor. You're not a Your Honor to me, but you are somebody that's supposed to be bound to the treaty.
Okay, so let me see if I can narrow this down, because what you're suggesting, and I see what you're in the clause 2, it
Yes,
says
sir.
the Constitution and the laws of the United States which should be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States. So all the above shall be the supreme law of the land.
That's what he said. This is article, and this is why I have this showcase here. Article 6 of the Constitution. Alright, so you guys can see it. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which a lot of sovereign citizens like to omit, laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. So it's everything there. It does not hold treaties subservient to the Constitution. It holds treaties that are passed and ratified under the authority of the Constitution have the force of law, just as the Constitution and the general laws of the United States.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's what I see what you're saying.
I'm not finished.
Understood, but I just want to make sure I'm comprehending.
Okay. So now you see where you're bound to this treaty, correct?
Yeah, it does say, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding.
And that part means that you can't use statutes and codes, case law, your court rule book,
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And yes, he can.
your Constitution, which is a bogus document.
If it's a bogus document, why are you citing to it in your favor? If the Constitution's a BS document, why are you citing to it?
It's not valid.
So then the announcement of what is the supreme law of the land is not valid, and the judge is free to make whatever determination that he wants.
Only the treaty is valid. And so when you look at the treaty, it talks about Article 21. The treaty is a document.
Okay. And now he's going into the actual meat of the treaty. And he goes to Article 21. Well, in order to provide a correct assessment or correct interpretation of what's going on here, let's go with what this is. This treaty was between Morocco and the United States. It was effectively a trade treaty and also a military treaty. It was an allowance that the United States and Morocco could trade with each other without fear of any sort of retaliation, and ultimately so that Moorish sailors could go into U.S. ports and not get hooked up as slaves. Vice versa, if someone who is subject to Morocco were to take over an American merchant ship and bring them and the goods to Morocco, the American sailor would be set free, and they'd be under the protection of the government until they're able to go back to the United States. So that's essentially what this treaty is about. Article 21. Now, also bear in mind that the treaty, as it's written, you can see it's Morocco at the top. The treaty is written from the perspective of Morocco. I think that's very important to note, that the syntax and the context in which the treaty is written is from the perspective of Morocco. And so that's why you go into Article 21, where it says, if a citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, or on the contrary, if a Moor shall kill or wound a citizen of the United States, the law of the country shall take place, and equal justice shall be rendered to the consul assisting at trial, and if any delinquent shall make his escape, the consul shall not be answered for him in any manner whatever. In other words, if a Moroccan national were to escape justice, the consul in Morocco is not going to get hanged for his citizen's assholeness if he leaves American custody, and vice versa. But it says the law of the country shall take place. Now, this is important because Scott, yes. I mean, the Morocco is no longer a kingdom, I don't think, but the state, the nation state, is still there, and that's why this treaty is still valid after 125 years. But the Moors here, one, they think that they are nationals of another state, of another nation state, number one. So that's problem number one. Number two, they see that this, because they look at this treaty and they assume that what it means by the law of the country shall take place, they mean that the law of Morocco shall take place if there's any sort of arrest or any sort of criminal action by a Moorish national on U.S. soil. At least I think that's how they're trying to interpret this bullshit. So it says the law of the country, whereas, and the reason why I say the country, it says because in other articles they do specify this country or our country. See, liberty and repass our country and seaports whenever they please, without interruption. So that is why I say that when Article 21 is read, that the law that applies would be to the victim. In other words, or wherever that they are, or wherever, excuse me, the geographic location that they're in shall take place. So if a citizen of the United States kills or wounds a Moor, and it's done in the act is committed in the United States, then the United States law applies. If a Moor kills somebody from the United States in the United States law still applies. And then finally, in the alternative, if a Moor killed the United States citizen in Morocco, then Morocco applies. And if a U.S. citizen kills a Moroccan in Morocco, Morocco applies. But the consul of the United States would be able to assist the suspect.
Of the 13 colonies losing to the Moors. And that's what you're bound to. You're bound to uphold that treaty. You're bound to me, sir. My ancestors rule here. And so the people that you see, I see as for the representing for the city. Is she using statutes and codes instead of the treaty? Yes, she's using statutes and codes to human traffic. Okay? And you're assisting her, sir. So when you look at the treaty, it talks about Article 21, okay? And Article 21 shows that your court is my court, okay? I don't have the documentation. I'm gonna read it to you because you need to know what you're doing. You outside of the law, sir. I seen you human traffic people today and release people you human traffic, okay? You and the prosecutor. And she's mighty quiet. Prosecutor has no business being a prosecutor for anything on this land. She can't live here or have a job here.
Okay.
And I'm charging her with committing treason, high treason.
Okay.
Okay, so you telling me that you got some kind of law that I have to abide by and practicing?
Yes, because here's the thing. You got no enforcement powers, do you?
With a bar member who's British?
And you have no business of telling her where to go.
Foreign agent? A traitor? Oh, really? Is that true?
Well,
Now,
that's
yes,
just a moment, sir. Just a moment. This is my suggestion because first of all, is this the document? One of the because there's 3 documents.
My document.
Is this one of your documents?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, that's the one, Miss
Hawkins. You have my documents.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to suggest, sir, because
Yes, sir.
just a minute, because I want Miss Hawkins and Miss Castle to be able to look at whatever documents you have, and then I'm going to resummon Miss Ritchie to another court date. Just a minute, because
Okay.
I'm not going to decide anything today, regardless, because everybody has an opportunity to be heard. Okay.
Alrighty.
And so what we'll do is you can bring up whatever you want at the next hearing.
I want to finish my part now, sir. You're cutting me off.
Oh my god. Well, you're cutting him off, you asshole.
I'm cutting you off, and I have every right to cut you off.
At least that's something. Honestly, I feel like the judge was far too passive throughout this entire endeavor. I'm going to say that right now.
And
You're bound
no,
to
I
me,
do.
sir.
I do.
You are bound to me.
Oh shit, that's right. That's right. It's just on studio. It's on stereo mode, guys. If you don't have stereo, I forgot. Let me go ahead and turn it to mono, and that way you'll be able to hear everything.
I'm bound to the you and I disagree, but I am cutting you
can't
off
disagree,
because
sir.
no, you can.
You're bound, sir. If you go past the bound, you lose your authority. You
Okay,
understand?
then I've lost my authority, and if that's what
right.
you perceive. But
That's
my
what you know.
what I'm doing today, sir, is
Yeah,
I'm putting
you're
this on
bound,
another calendar so you can be heard on another day because Miss Ritchie is not present, and I can't
This is
proceed
a
without
court
her.
order, sir.
Okay,
This is a court order you're disrupting.
then
You're
they'll
bound
have to hold me in contempt, then, sir.
Find me in contempt, asshole.
The bottom
I'm not
line
gonna
is
hold
at this point, just a moment. At this point in time, we're continuing. We're going to resummon Miss Ritchie. I will.
I'm already on to my second round.
Which court date do we want to have? 2 weeks?
Sir.
No, just a
I'm
minute,
talking
Mr.
There's only one court on this land.
That's fine.
Okay, it's the Moroccan court.
Okay,
I'm
then
explaining to you.
the Moroccan court can hold me in contempt. But at
No,
this point in
you
time,
are
I'm
bound to
moving
the Moroccan court.
2 weeks, Miss
Bound,
Hawkins.
sir.
2 weeks?
Normal resummons.
Okay.
Ms. Hawkins, I will put a third-party complaint on you in this case, because
Okay.
you know better.
Okay.
I've already been listed in a lawsuit, apparently,
Well,
based on
I guess.
the paperwork, so I don't know that I can.
Yeah, you already
So-
listed. You'll be listed by me and this attorney right
So-
here. What's the name? And your name too, Judge.
That's
Since you're not bound.
okay. So
And provide
what?
me. Hold on. Provide me with your bond, your oath, official bond, and your oath of office before you proceed, because you're saying you're not bound to the Moors.
I'm not
I
saying
got
that,
it on
sir.
record right
Sir,
now.
just so it's clear. You have brought up some arguments today.
I'm
that
clear.
Just a minute. You brought I'm just talking about, just to be clear from my perspective. You may think you're clear from your perspective. I'm talking from mine. You brought up some arguments today that, on its face, when
Second
we're
round.
talking about the fact that it includes treaties as one of the elements of the supreme law of the land, that the attorneys on the other side have an opportunity to respond to that. Now the question is that list disjunctive or conjunctive? Is it does it only refer to, does it say or does it include all of those documents when put together as the supreme law of land?
I think that the thing is, I don't like, because of the disrespect that this guy is giving. Compare this to the Moor who was trying to fight his landlord-tenant hearing. He was far less of an asshole than this guy is. So that's why I didn't care if the judge was having fun with them. The fact that this guy is being unbelievably disrespectful is why I'm annoyed that the judge is actually entertaining this dude's arguments.
We have to construe them all together. So that's
go.
going to be the issue that will have to be resolved, and I'm giving the other parties a chance to respond to you. Okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm not denying your request. I'm not disrespecting your request. I'm not disrespecting your arguments. I'm just suggesting it needs to be when everybody has an opportunity to fairly be heard. Okay? Which is going to be 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Okay?
And the only thing I was saying is that I think that Ms. Bay, Empress Bay, has a right to be here for this, and so
Not in the
I
federal court.
think that she has that right if she wants.
Right.
You
Well,
know, if
it's-
she's going to be present.
Just so it's clear, sir, in the land of Federal Way, in our jurisdiction in Washington, just a moment, in what the rule, just a minute.
You got
I
things-
cannot, I have no authority to proceed against her unless she's present.
Well, I'm present. I'm proceeding against you for
Okay,
human trafficking, sir. My
okay,
documents speak. I already served them on you. And don't cut me off when I'm speaking, because I'm in my court. I'm not in your court.
okay.
So you are bound to me. And when I'm talking to you, you are outside of the law when you start talking down to me. Don't use statutes and codes. There's only one law in the
Hey, Maynard. Yeah, I was able to figure out a little bit about the origins of my name, my opening song. But Chuck, if you are in my Discord, you can join in. I'm only bringing in Chuck for now.
land. When you bypassed my birthrights to the treaty, to my land, we own over 1 million miles square. Only indigenous people can live here. No European can live here.
No European can live here.
Article 14, the treaty is about commerce only. If you're not doing commerce, you better roll up out of my land. That's what this case is about.
Oh my god. Okay. Article 14. The commerce with the United States shall be on the same footing as is the commerce with Spain, or as that with the most favored nation for the time being, and their citizens shall be respected and esteemed and have full liberty to pass and repass our country and see without. That's not what Article 14 says. All Article 14 says is that they are placing the commercial activity between the United States and Morocco shall be on the same playing field as it is with Spain. So that's not what he.
Okay.
You know it too, Miss Hawkins.
Okay.
Miss Hawkins,
We did.
ineffective. You're an ineffective assistance of counsel person. And I know Strickland versus Washington and all that stuff. Don't mess with me. I'm a master at law.
Oh my fucking god. Oh god, the Dunning-Kruger is real.
Okay?
Hey, Marvel.
You have to, only a noble can represent anything on this land. Sir, if you're not a noble, you cannot be a judge. The treaty shows that only Moors can live here. Indigenous people own for 1 million miles square. And lawyers are banned from this land. So if you got a lawyer over there talking about, you got a code for me? Well, I got case law that says codes need consent.
Okay.
Okay, I give no consent to you or any of your lawyers using statutes and codes. I seen you just human traffic people, make them plea on something with pressure, and it's dirty.
Hey, Jay White for the $4.99 super chat. I wonder what he has to say now that she pled guilty. Ha!
That's messed up.
Okay.
You're a terrible judge too, if you're a judge.
Thank you.
We're gonna test that. You're gonna provide me with your official bond and your oath of office, and we're gonna test you because I know you don't have the skills.
Okay. Well, thank you for the compliment.
Bound to me.
Fun fact, I lived in Spain for 3 years.
I want Pauline Ritchie, and you better not mess with her because she's a noble. She's an empress. And
Okay.
you're talking about statutes and codes and bringing her to this phony court. You're bound to her.
Okay.
She's a Moor.
So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. We're going to set it over for 2 weeks. Okay. And I think
Well,
that's
so
our
what?
last case today, correct?
Well,
Okay. So
my
2
co- my
weeks, sir.
code
Do
is-
you want?
Oh, by the way, Mike, if you're still watching the stream, get in touch with Marvel Girl in the chat about a possible collaboration. So reach out to Marvel Girl when you get a chance, Mike.
You want to know the exact court date, sir?
Pursuant to Article 21, that's the court I'm holding. Look
Okay.
at the treaty.
Okay.
Hawkins.
Well, you can continue to hold court, but I'm signing off.
need
But
to
the
go somewhere.
thing is that Miss
You're bound
Kelly,
to me.
2 weeks, March 19th, please. March
I'll be there.
19th, 1:15.
Calendar are you putting it on? Your
Oh,
Honor?
excuse me, he's out of custody now, so to be March 16th at 1:15 on
March 16th
the
at
motions.
1:15?
Yeah, in the motion on the motions calendar. So it'll
Okay,
be in
now
court. It'll be in courtroom 2, sir, which has a different Zoom ID and meeting ID and password.
Is the court anticipating us filing a written response?
I don't have any documentation from you guys. Nothing.
I leave.
Yuko, for $5 super chat. Since he's not an attorney, shouldn't the judge have kicked him out at the start since he can't enter an appearance? Technically, yes. Again, I don't know why the judge is entertaining his bullshit, especially because of the attitude that he's brought from the very get-go. If he wasn't is not there as a member of the attorney, he could have just muted him or kicked him out.
That's your discretion. But the bottom line is that they're. I think King Abdul has raised some issues that
Again, why? Why are you entertaining his bullshit?
on behalf of Miss Ritchie, that I think out of respect need to be addressed. And because I'm not Mr. King Abdul, I'm not, like I said, I'm not dismissing what you're saying. I'm just saying it needs to be on another day.
I get respect. I understand respect. What I don't get is him treating you, the judge, with absolute disrespect. What's up, Chuck?
Okay, not today.
I have a court order right now in your hands, sir, which you're bound to.
Okay.
You're human trafficking people.
Okay.
Look at Article
So let me
21.
ask you this, sir. What are you asking me to do today? What do you want me? What are you asking me to do today?
Okay.
Oh,
Today, my documentation I had with third-party defendants, President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., and other defendants to be heard from my federal criminal investigation.
well, it's this.
State of Washington. Only nobles can represent the state of Washington, or anybody here on this land. I see this
Are you putting the dates?
prosecutor for the city of Federal Way.
I'll do it.
She cannot be here. She cannot live here, have a job here, sir. Per the treaty, she needs to be deported.
Who does? Who does?
If she's not a Moor, this prosecutor, she's committing treason. Look at Article 3, Section 3 of the judicial side of the.
Chuck, what are you doing?
I'm shut down all the YouTubes and just opened up the actual Discord stream. Is that okay? Or do I need to open up the YouTube stream.
Well, the only way you're able to get it, at least with a relative sync, is to watch it via the Discord stream.
And where is the camera? I think it's there. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Is that me? Yes. And where's the camera button?
What camera button? You're not on camera. You could be. People can hear you, but you're not on camera.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, and then watch myself on YouTube. Oh, gotcha. Oh, gotcha.
Wait, why are you even awake?
A little bit behind the times.
Oh boy.
A little bit behind the times. Okay, shut up.
Constitution, and she's giving aid and comfort, just like Miss Hawkins. All three of you are outside of the law, attacking Empress like Tajiri Bay, named as Pauline Denise Ritchie Moore. You cannot use statutes and codes, and Miss Hawkins knows it. I got a recording of you, Miss Hawkins, and you're gonna get it played on this conference or this hearing we're gonna have on the 19th at whatever time. And I'm going to make you a third-party defendant, and this is federal. It's nothing to do with federal way. This is Moroccan law. Only Moroccan law can be a Muslim, not no European.
Okay.
Only Europeans can have a job. They can't have a job here. They can only do commerce. And that's what we're going to talk about.
So the specific relief you're seeking today, you've outlined for the court this time. At this time, right?
Human trafficking. It's on my paperwork, sir. My paperwork precedes me, and you better give me your oath of office and your bond, because I'm filing charges against you for saying you're not bound. You feel me?
It's a matter of public record, sir. If you want to go get that, that's fine.
All three of you, give me your insurance records, your insurance bonds. You think I don't know about that stuff? I've been in.
Okay, he doesn't know jack shit about that stuff because, again, as somebody who was a law clerk, I know nothing about this sort of insurance bond that every judge is supposed to have, which is always asinine. Robbie with the $5 super chat. Pauline should hire Rick Martin, constitutional lawyer. I agree. That would just add to the insanity.
Investigating all you human traffickers for years. I got a judge saying he's at war with the Moors. He admits that he's a human trafficker. He admits that he's a KKK member.
Wait, who?
Public record, sir. If you want to go get that, that's fine.
All three of you, give me your insurance records, your insurance bonds. You think I don't know about that stuff? I've been investigating all you human traffickers for years. I got a judge saying he's at war with the Moors. He admits that he's a human trafficker. He admits that he's a KKK member. Right on the bench, and the lawyers too. They all admitted that they're at war with the Moors. Now you at war with me, sir?
KKK member.
I don't know where you got. I don't know which judge you're referring to, but sir, I think that right now we're not being constructive.
No, you.
So
kinda.
So this is what's going to happen. I think we're going to go off the record. We're going to end our Zoom hearing. Is there any objection, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. No, I think we're good to go, sir. Thank you.
Off of my land.
Thank you.
No, you.
Yeah.
End the Zoom.
Bless you. Bless you.
Confederation.
Have a wonderful evening.
Who was that?
Who was that? Can you not? Can you see me?
No, I can't see you.
Okay. Can you hear me though?
I can hear you, and so can everybody else.
Okay. Why can you not see me?
Because I'm not displaying you on anywhere, because I'm the one who's live streaming right now so that you can watch, so that we're all in sync.
Aha. So, Article 21. And you can see me on camera, can't you? But no one else can hear me.
No, I can only hear you. I cannot see I cannot see you at all. I can only hear you.
Okay. If a citizen of the United States should kill or wound a Moor, or, on the contrary, if a Moor should kill or wound a citizen of the United States, the country that shall take place and equal justice shall be rendered. The consul assisting the trial, that goes back to basically the solicitor, that if he wants to let the guy escape, then he shall do. But what this basically means is Article 21. If a Yank kills a Moor, or a Moor kills a Yank, then the trial is going to happen in that country. Either way. So if a Moor kills a Yank in Morocco or America, then they will be tried there. If a Yank kills a Moor in Morocco or America, they'll be tried there. And they will be held principal to the laws of that land.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Article 21 is.
Right. Exactly.
Next article. Oh, chuck him up, boy, because I've got the man.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to next to the episode 2, though. We're not gonna go through the entirety of the articles.
Oh my God, no! Don't go to episode 2.
Look, we're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
No,
so
it's embarrassing.
okay, Chuck, it's happening, dude. It's happening. We're playing.
It's embarrassing.
Don't read. We're gonna break it down because you think this is some kind of reading thing. This is
It's
about testing
embarrassing.
my ability to do law
Why
on my
can't you
land
see
that I
my
own,
camera?
and your ability
Sorry.
to not live here or have a job here or do anything here, sir, because you're a European. Watch what I'm saying. It says all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution, which is 1789, which was never adopted, which says all.
Wait. Okay, now I gotta start it over again based on what the hell he's trying to say.
Federation. Okay.
Constitutional laws.
Hold on, don't read. We're gonna break it down because you think this is some kind of reading thing. This is about testing my ability to do law on my land that I own, and your ability to not live here or have a job here or do anything here, sir, because you're a European. Watch what I'm saying. It says all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution, which is 1789. That's what I'm saying.
Well, what is he? Where is he reading this? All debts contracted
and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution,
right?
1789, which was never adopted.
It was adopted. It was ratified in 1791 or 1792, depending on what state you would consider to be the ratification moment.
You want to believe it's adopted? It's not. Shall be valid against the United States, which is owned by the Moors.
No, it's not.
My people, under this Constitution, as under the Confederation, which is the Iroquois or Iroquois.
You are not associated with the Iroquois Confederation. What the hell?
This is my biggest argument at the moment. All of a sudden, and it's Sharon and Pauline and King. They have all of a sudden jumped on the Iroquois. And I'm not 100% sure why or when or how. But the Iroquois obviously are the Native Americans of, America. So why are the Moors all of a sudden jump? I'm literally talking within the last month or two. They are jumping on the Iroquois.
I'm going to wager a guess. I'm gonna speculate and wager a guess that the reason why is that somebody in the Moors found out that in the Constitutional Convention the framers borrowed substantially from in forming the system of government that we have today. They borrowed substantially from how the Iroquois Confederation formed their government. And so that's my only theory as to why it's because somebody found that little factoid out, that the Constitution was heavily influenced by the Iroquois Confederation in their system of government. That's my guess.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll float with that for a moment.
Confederation, my people, they defeated the 13 colonies. You owe us money. You're bound to keep that going. Okay, let's go to Article 6, Paragraph 2. You're talking about law, statutes, and codes. Let's find out what you're practicing is criminal. You're treasonous,
Right.
sir.
This is the
and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance
pursuance
thereof, and
Yeah.
treaties made, which is
But that's cool.
our
because that
documentation
allows me
of
to get
Iroquois Articles of Confederation, Iroquois Constitution,
Yeah.
the Iroquois
Honestly,
Moorish American
only
Treaty
in
of Friendship
recent
of
weeks,
1787,
we're not talking
which
months,
we
I'm
established
talking weeks.
the government,
All of a sudden, it's
where
gone
we defeated
Iroquois.
the 13 colonies and turned the 13 colonies into the United States of America before George Washington was ever thought of. Okay? And so when you're talking about, I'm practicing law, you better find out what you're doing, because you're going to get tested here. Okay? So we have a treaty, sir. You know it's the supreme law of the land, right?
All right, really quick. I apologize, guys. P Rhymes with a $10 super chat. Just finished Dead Space Trilogy. 1 and 2 were excellent. 3 was hampered by EA microtransactions. So already, I hope you play at least Dead Space 1 on stream. I actually had Dead Space 2 was like a PlayStation Plus free game. I think actually I have it on PC, but not number 1. Jeremy Edens for $5. New Braunfels Brewing Company just released 4 very spicy pickle beers, and they have whole peppers in them, which would make for a great live stream. Hashtag weed. No. Ryan Holtz with 100 secs. Would love to know what part of the UK Chuck is from. I'm drunk and his accent is beautiful. All right.
All right. So I was born in Birmingham, and I've lost my Birmingham accent. I moved to New Zealand, picked up a little bit of a New Zealand accent. I am a British citizen, a New Zealand citizen, but I live now in Australia. And no, Liz D, I do not need to go to sleep.
Nice. Thank you. All right, moving on.
Moving on.
That's what I was asking the last hearing, sir. Is it
No.
disjunctive or conjunctive?
You didn't ask anything. You don't have to ask. It's already in words.
Okay.
Okay? Just follow the law, and you'll be fine. Don't go outside the law. You'll have problems with me. I have a guillotine for all of you criminals.
So, right there,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay? Just follow the law,
Sorry.
and you'll be fine. Don't go outside the law. You'll have problems with me. I have a guillotine for all of you criminals.
I mean, I would probably put that as terroristic threats.
Okay, is that a threat, sir?
And it's going to be in my video tomorrow, you bastard.
No, this is what the law is on our land.
Is that a threat?
On
sir?
our land, this is the law of the treaty.
Are you threatening me with a guillotine?
No, I said, won't you listen to me? Don't keep reiterating something I haven't said.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what the penalties are. That's what I'm telling you for high treason. The documentation.
What you're accusing me of.
Well, when you finish, don't cut me off. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. You're going to find out right here. And this is where you being tested to see if you're following the law. Because so far from what I've seen, you presented people with statutes and codes. You and these lawyers up here can't do that. Won't you give people full disclosure about this treaty, that all people have treaty rights only. No constitutional rights. They only have treaty rights. And Miss Hawkins, you and I went through this case. And now you want to act like you bright and don't know nothing. You know better. I have you recorded saying you don't know law at all. And that you need to sue the law school to get your money back because you don't know law. Is that true? Miss Hawkins?
Ms. Hawkins is not being asked questions today.
Yeah, you're no business asking her questions at this point. You're not even an attorney. Anything you're basically saying at this point has no relevance and no form or effect. But again, I don't know why the judge is entertaining your ass after what he just said.
Asking questions here. This is the federal criminal investigation. Pull up my notice of appearance, sir.
You're not gonna conduct it on my time, sir.
Oh, this is
Okay.
our time, sir. You
No,
you
it's my
got
time.
cannons. You
My
got
time.
cannons. You have
Our time. Oh, damn it. Where's my Soviet anthem meme track? I don't have it. Oh, well.
a job. You have a
Okay,
9
this-
to 5.
Artie, when was the last time you threatened a judge with the guillotine?
Never. Not even... Never.
I've just remembered to bring my microphone into the conversation here.
Have jobs.
So,
we
sir,
should
what
have.
what relief are you
When's the
asking
last
for?
time you remembered to- When was the last time that you threatened a judge with a guillotine?
I already said never.
Sorry, I just remembered to bring my microphone in. Carry on.
Finish reading. Don't cut me off. We're testing.
Okay,
We're testing your ability, not my ability.
okay.
I know
That's
my
fine.
ability.
That's
this
and,
is
and
my
I'm-
birthright,
that's
sir.
fair. Go ahead.
Well, don't cut me off. I'm testing you. You want to
Okay.
test me? I'm testing you.
Okay.
I'm a federal criminal investigator. I am a judge
A federal criminal investigator.
in my court.
And he's a judge in his court, because of course he is.
Yes.
This is
So, Marcel Bissett, as well as Rick Martin, as well as, name another subset.
my land. Where is your land? Where you come from?
I was born in Tacoma.
No. Where's your bloodline from? The treaty.
I love that answer. I was born in Tacoma, sir. I was born in Tacoma.
Tacoma.
Blood,
Oh my god.
us and
my-
them.
My blood was born in Tacoma.
My blood, born in Tacoma.
Where's your people's land? Are you a
By the
Moor,
way-
sir? Are you a Moor?
Tacoma.
No, I'm not a Moor.
Okay, well, you can't live here or have a job here, sir.
Again, this... I'm not even, like... Here's the thing, like... Now I know just a little bit about what it feels like. It's not everything, but just a little bit about what it feels like when you're like an immigrant, like an actual immigrant, and some asshole tells you to get out of the country and like leave. And, like, you don't belong here. We don't take kindly to your type. And that's like the him saying this to the judge, because I know he's a Moor. He's saying it to not just the judge, but just about everybody who is not a Moor. And that's sort of like reflexive. Who the fuck are you to tell me I'm not allowed to be here? Is like that's what's boiling into me right now.
You can only do commerce here. This is what the Constitution is talking about.
Can we get back to Article 6?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, let's finish. Because you're nasty inside. You're dirty. You're criminal.
You were nasty.
You nasty.
Then
Okay.
you want to pretend
You
you're
nasty.
cool. You ain't cool. You're pretending to be a Moor, sir. The United States is owned by the Moors.
Okay.
So how is it that you're sitting there acting like you're a Moor? You're an interloper. You're a con man. And you want to test me? I'm going to test you.
And I've heard you say that
Let me
before.
finish. I know you're not a Moor, so you can't live here. You're going to
Okay.
go through this treaty, and Miss Hawkins know all about it. Because
Okay.
she's a con man, too. Con woman. All of you. If y'all don't believe it,
What if I agree, sir? Just a minute, sir. What if I agree that this court has no jurisdiction?
I haven't asked you about
Just a
jurisdiction.
minute. If this court has no jurisdiction to determine the validity of the treaty you refer to, if I said that, would you agree with me?
Sir, only a noble can use the treaty. You're
I
not
know,
a noble.
but could you agree then that this
No,
court?
I'm not going to agree anything until I finish talking to you.
Okay,
Then you'll
well,
find
get-
out
get
whether
to
or
the
not we're
point
talking.
then.
When we
Get to the
finish
point.
finding out what you have to do, then you'll know whether or not I'm practicing law or not. This is what we're
Okay.
talking about. You
Okay.
accused me of a crime, sir.
Yes, I did.
Well, you better have something to back it up when I finish. 'Cause
Okay,
I'm
but
going to choke you out.
you're intending to
Right
speak
here
on
with
behalf
this
of
paperwork.
Miss Ritchie today.
Well, he just said he's just gonna choke him out.
Point then.
When
Get
we
to the
finish
point.
when we finish finding out what you have to do, then you'll know whether or not I'm practicing law or not. This is what
Okay.
we're talking about. You
Okay.
accused me of a crime, sir.
Yes, I did.
Well, you better have something to back it up when I finish. 'Cause
Okay,
I'm
but
going to choke you out.
you're intending.
This is what we're
Okay.
talking about. You accused me of a crime, sir.
Yes, I did.
Well, you better have something to back it up when I finish.
Okay,
I'm gonna choke you out.
Yeah, he did say he's gonna choke him out.
Ready to speak on behalf of Miss Ritchie today, aren't you?
Sir, when we finish, don't cut me off.
Okay.
Your ability to hold court, you can't do. This is what I'm gonna show you right here.
Okay.
Now, our treaty is the supreme.
And if you would let him educate you, he's trying to educate you. If you keep cutting him off, I implore you to just, take a minute and listen to him and stop feeling attacked. That he's really educating you.
I'm not feeling attacked.
What the fuck? Bitch, all he's been doing is attack. Who the fuck are you, Miss Pauline Ritchie? I assume that's Pauline Ritchie that's just spoke right now.
No.
All he's been doing has been on the attack this entire fucking time. He's not educating. He's talking at the judge. He's not talking to the judge.
I'm just trying to understand
So fuck you.
what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, well,
just a moment.
Just listen.
What I understand is that I
to
have
him.
no jurisdiction. Because of this treaty, I have no jurisdiction to
I
decide
haven't said you
anything
didn't
in
have
this case.
jurisdiction, sir. You made that up. I haven't said that.
Then what
Pay
is the
attention.
point?
Pay attention. If you shut
Can
up,
you-
you learn.
I will when you get to the point.
Can you go?
Shut up.
He just said shut up and learn.
I need you to read.
Be quiet.
Motherfuck this guy.
I need you to read. I need you to read what he was telling you.
Yeah.
Right,
With
that's what we were
comprehension.
talking about, and we've kind of gone off on this
Quiet.
tangent. So what is
It's gonna be heated right now.
You need
This is
to
really
learn
starting to
things
piss me off.
Let's get
outside
back
of
to
the
Article
law.
6.
I've seen
Article
you
6.
human traffic people, sir.
Can you
Okay.
actually
You're
hear
human
me?
trafficker, man.
You've said
Don't
that.
play with me.
Let's establish something new. What else?
You're gonna establish what's here.
Okay.
There's nothing new. And don't you make up laws on the bench, sir.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's what you're trying to do, to implore or insinuate that I'm practicing law on my land.
Okay.
Don't
Well,
do
we've
that.
talked about that. So how about Article 6?
Well, we're going to do that. We did it last time, and you choked up and said, I'm not bound. And I asked you for your oath of office, and I have it in writing. So let's finish. And don't cut me off, because you have cannons, sir. I know all of your stuff. Okay. Now, I'm going to start all over. You owe us money from the first article. Okay? The Confederation, the Iroquois Confederation. That flag y'all see with the KKK members running around here,
From the, what Iroquois Confederation?
Okay. Artie, can you actually see or hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Can the rest of the team hear me?
Yes. What's up? Be brief.
There is. Oh, I apologise. There is no federation. There is no treaty of peace. Well, there is a treaty of peace and friendship. There is actually, and there are 25. Sorry, there are 25 articles of
Right.
the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. However, not one single article relates to a Moor or a dark-skinned person from back then identifying themselves with the land. Yep. Scroll up and down. Yep. Come on. Scroll up and down.
Well, no. Chuck. What I'm saying is, this guy mentioned like Article 1 involving the Confederation. The only Confederation that should matter at that point in 1786 would be the Articles of Confederation, which is the document to which the United States is founded upon at this time. But as we all know, it's not the United States didn't call itself to the world Articles of Confederation. It called itself the United States of America. There was no reason to mention itself as as a confederation. So, and I'm already looking at, there's no mention of any confederation whatsoever in this treaty.
No, it doesn't. We declare that both parties have agreed to this treaty consisting of 25 articles that shall be inserted in this book and delivered to the Honourable Thomas Barclay, which Thomas Barclay was a what, substitute president?
No.
The agent. Oh, sorry, go on.
I believe Thomas Barclay was he wasn't the executive at the time. I thought he was what was he?
Thomas Barclay, to the best of my knowledge, was the guy in charge of the United States.
Okay, so then he was so he was the executive at the time. He wasn't the president, obviously,
Yeah.
but he wasn't the but he was the executive at the time. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So he wasn't the president, but if you go back to the front of the treaty, to all persons to whom presents blah 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 blah, it does mention the president. Now,
okay.
So this document is completely bogus from the beginning because it talks about a president.
The treaty's not bogus. It was expired in 1836 and was reaffirmed in 1837, and it's still ultimately the fundamental text of the treaty is still in effect today. However, with all of that said, all of this is here to be shown is to confirm that this has literally nothing to do with what's going on right now at this hearing where Ms. Pauline Ritchie was arrested for trespass, and this treaty has no relevance to the proceedings at hand. That's all was meant to there.
Well, absolutely no relevance whatsoever, because Mr. King Abdul Mumin Al professes that the whole of the not the Constitution, but the whole the premise that the Moors own America,
right?
Is all in this.
I understand it.
Treaty.
Right. I know. I understand that they base everything off the treaty. But all right, let me go ahead and play.
Yep.
Chuck, please get some sleep. All right, try and get some sleep, man.
With the cross, with the flags, with the stars. That's Moorish. That's the Moorish flag. But your Europeans are running around here saying it's mine. We're the Confederates. You're nothing.
Okay.
We're the Confederate. You stole everything, and then you want to sit in my place pretending you can represent somebody on my land and say you got a court. You don't have a court. You're bound to the Moors. Let me finish. Let me finish. I don't need you to ask me any questions. Just let me finish talking. And you'll know when it's your turn, sir. Don't cut me off. I'm charging you as a war criminal. Okay. All of you.
All right.
Take me serious, because my court is online. They listening to you. Now, you lied to me, saying you were not bound. And watch. Okay, we're going to read this part again.
Okay, here's the thing. The judge is bound to the treaty, but the treaty is irrelevant to what's going on here. That's the whole thing.
You took your time when you were stealing those people's money with the statutes and codes. You're going to take your time learning about your job. All of you. All of you are criminals. You don't have no rights to be a lawyer on this land. All lawyers are forbidden. Watch. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, which is owned by the Moors, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Are you bound, sir?
I'm bound by the Constitution, of course.
Well, did you see what it said about the treaty being the supreme law of the land?
If the treaty relates to what I do, I'm bound by it.
Well, I haven't seen you do anything today treaty-wise.
Okay.
Nothing. Nothing.
What is he supposed to do?
Lawyers, nothing.
What is he supposed to do? And I believe he doesn't actually mention what the judge is supposed to do at this point in time. I mean, I don't think he even says to release Pauline and Richie at this point. He just says, you haven't been abiding by the treaty. What is he supposed to abide by?
Watch. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding, meaning you can't use nothing outside of the treaty, statutes and codes, anything you're talking about. But you used it today. So you're saying you're bound to the treaty, sir?
If it applies to what I do, yes.
It applies, sir. Your job comes from the treaty. Watch. This is Muslim.
What part of the treaty establishes a judiciary of any kind or sort? At all.
Law. Only Muslim law can be here.
What Muslim law? It doesn't even say Muslim law. It just says the law of the country.
Not statutes and codes. Case law saying that statutes and codes you have to give consent to that. Let judges use that, so-called judges. Man, you're not a judge. You're a con man.
Come on.
The United States is owned by us. That's what I'm here for. You human trafficked Empress Tajiri, like Tajiri Bay and others. That's what you guys are doing now. Watch. So you're using statutes and codes to human traffic people, correct? Is that part of the treaty, sir?
Are you asking me a question?
Yes, sir, because you testing my
I have no idea if it's part of the treaty.
Oh, okay. We're going to get there. Because that's what we need before you even begin to think that you're running the show. Because you're a con man. Okay. And it says here, the senators and representatives, before mentioned, and the members of the several state legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation. I asked you for your oath last time, and your bond.
What does that clause have anything to do with what you just said beforehand? What does the oath of office clause has anything to do with what you were just said and what you were just trying to claim? Because the judge was talking about, you were just talking about whether or not statutes and codes apply, and whether that's an effect as regards whether or not statutes and codes are valid in accordance with the treaty. Then you say, "Oh, I'm going to show you," but then you go to the oath of office clause under the Constitution. What does one have to do with the other? Oh, and by the way, I thought you said in the last hearing that the Constitution was bogus and invalid. So why are you citing to it?
Because you said you weren't bound. Now you want to play games like, well, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. You crook. Yes, you did. You ain't nothing, man, but a liar. And that's why I'm here to crack your face open for lying.
Seriously, stop threatening the fucking judge.
Okay.
Is that another threat?
No, I'm saying with words, sir. Why you want to threat him over here on the computer, man?
Well, you're talking about breaking my
man, I'm
face
showing you don't have no ability to do what you're doing. And so I'm telling you, you're pretending to be a Moor. Only a Moor can run this rule here, be a judge here. You're not a Moor. That's what the treaty is saying.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
When you go through this here, you're going to see that you can't live here. You can't have a job here. The house you live on, in mine. You'll see. That's what I'm going to show you right now. Now, the senators and representatives before mentioned, and all members of the several states and legislatures, and all executive and judicial officers, both of the United States and the several states, shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution, but no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Now, this qualifies all of you guys to see, are you bound? All lawyers on this hearing.
Hey, Pocket Watcher with JT. Thanks a lot for the $2.99 super chat. Thanks for coming to your first live stream. Hey, not a problem, man. It was like my first time being able to check you out, dude. Good to see ya. While we're doing that, let's go to some super chats that I missed. I apologize for that, guys. Richard for $5. What is he talking about? The first U.S. technical loss in war was 1812. Draw is a loss for both sides, and definitely Vietnam. Where's this mystery war? Your guess is as good as mine. Jeremy Edens for $5. They also found out that some First Nation tribes held African slaves and granted them tribal membership eventually, so the Moors claimed that. That's not surprising either. Richard, another $2. I'm sending you the facepalm bill, Artie. I apologize for that. Yuko for $5. So wait, he thinks Moors are indigenous or were here before the USA, so he thinks that slavery never happened here. Yes, that is actually correct. Many Moors believe that the slave trade was not a thing. That is a fundamental belief among a lot, and I mean a lot of Moors, that the slave trade did not happen. Professor Jimbo for $5. What did I just walk into? I hear Chuck's voice in the background and a nut job of a Moorish person talking. P. Rhymes for $5. Artie, I wish they pulled this crap in North Jersey's Essex County Courthouse. The judge would laugh as they were being dragged away. Yeah, I know. You're telling me. I mean, they do it in Hudson and Union and Hudson County too, which is where I clerked. And then Robbie for $4.99 super chat. Can we get Judge Middleton to mute this move? God only knows I wish.
Let me hear if you're bound to the Moors. Hello?
I have no jurisdiction.
Hello?
I have no jurisdiction to determine that.
Sir, I didn't ask you about determining anything.
Jurisdiction.
You haven't proved your worth yet. Are you bound to the Moors, sir?
Yes.
No.
Well, how is it that you got your job? That's what the treaty.
I was elected by the people of, of the city of Federway.
The people can't elect you to do nothing because you're bound to the treaty. Pull up the treaty. Let's find out what you're talking about.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay, I can't. You won't let me allow me to present my screen. Yeah, you're bound, sir. You haven't used anything but statutes and codes today. You and the lawyers talking about you're gonna
Chuck, I didn't even see your super chat. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Chuck. Chuck for $5 Australian. I'm giving up and being nice. Aight. Tom Cash. Oh, I missed this one too. I'm sorry. Tom Cash for $5. This judge is too weak. He should have cut off the delusion of Jagoff real quick and wished he'd warrant for contempt. I agree. JY for $4.99 super chat. I wonder what he has to say now that she pled guilty. I assume. Oh wait, I didn't know that Light Tajiri Bay pled guilty already. That's actually hilarious. All right, I caught those.
You don't have authority to have them to do that, sir. You're gonna find out you don't have authority to do anything. Huh?
Go ahead and share the screen.
I'm asking. Okay. 1 second. Because you're out of bounds, sir.
Okay.
All of you. You want to talk about me? This is Morocco. You see where it says on the top of the land of the CF document?
No.
See that I'm sharing the screen?
No, it's nothing's coming up.
How do you share the screen to make sure?
Well, because it actually has to be on your screen. It can't be an independent document. You'd have to hold it up to the camera. Otherwise, if it's not on your phone, you won't be able to share it.
It's not. I'm on my computer.
Okay, if it's on your computer, you should be able to share screen.
Well, that's what I'm.
You just go down to the bottom and put share screen, and then pick the document you want to show.
I did that. You don't see anything?
Yeah.
It might take a second to get there. Well, I filed it in the court record. Pull up my file, and you can find my.
Oh, okay, got it. Gotcha.
And
what's it called? What's it called?
Well,
STG pled guilty. Okay, gotcha. Correction. STG pled guilty, not Light Tajiri Bay. Light Tajiri Bay is still going on.
The document is my notice of appearance. Pull that up. Let's get there first so you can see why I'm here. Because I don't believe you understand what I'm here for. I'm not here to attack you. The treaty is a document. It's the document of the Europeans or the 13 colonies surrendering to the Moors after they lost the Revolutionary War.
No.
Women. women
To the women?
of the Europeans or the 13 colonies surrendering to the Moors after they lost the Revolutionary War to the women. Our women defeated the 13 colonies, sir.
The level of wrong is just so fucking much. This treaty is the surrender, is the surrender treaty of Morocco to the 13 colonies. And not only that, they lost to women specifically?
They ruled the earth, and you're in their way from ruling, because you're saying they're bound, but you're ruling.
I don't see.
Right. This judge is the only thing in the way from Light Tajiri Bay from ruling planet Earth for a contempt charge.
See the document in the file.
You don't see my notice of appearance. I talked to the clerk yesterday again.
Okay, just a moment. Sharon, could you tell me where that is? Can you see it? I got U.S. District Court waiver of document, U.S. District Court civil cover sheet, removal of the U.S. District Court, waiver of counsel, habeas corpus light, Tajiri
These
Bay.
are my documents, not hers.
And then appointment of counsel. That's the appointment of counsel is a different document for Ms. Hawkins.
No, my documents are filed on your court.
Here, just a moment.
Okay.
Here we go. Up higher. Just a minute.
I can assure you I'm not practicing law on my land, sir. I
Okay.
live here.
They looks like they have the case numbers on them. Let me do something.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay, that's the treaty.
Okay, now you are sharing it now.
All right, appreciate you.
It's showing up.
All right. Okay. I'm trying to move your how do you move these people out the way in the camera for the video?
Oh my fucking god.
I don't think you can. No.
All right, just to confirm that this is the treaty that I have here. Like, just so there are no Moors watching and thinking like I'm pulling some BS. Sorry, Professor Jimbo, $2 super chat. I still don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know, you and me both. Nathan for the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. STG pled no contest to at least one charge. Ah, that's right. I do remember that too.
Oh, you didn't know that, but you're sitting on the bench. When you're dealing with the Moor, you're not dealing with a citizen.
Oh, here we go.
You're dealing with the landowners called Moors. Scroll down to Article 20.
Bitch, you don't own my land. I'm the one who's paying the fucking mortgage, all right?
This is a court order, sir. This is when your ancestors surrendered. You'll see bench.
That's not a court order. It's a treaty. A treaty is different from a court order.
Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams listed in there.
They were mentioned, but that has nothing to do with anything.
I'm going to show you article. Let's go Article 21 and stop it right there. It says, if a citizen of the United States shall kill or wound a Moor, which I'm not a citizen, I'm a Moor, or on the contrary, if a Moor shall kill or wound...
Gary, if you weren't a member, I would have timed you out with that fucking pun. God damn it.
Citizen of the United States, the law of the country shall take place. Our law is not your law. This is our country. Okay? And equal justice shall be rendered. I haven't seen equal justice rendered today, sir. The counsel assisting at the trial, I'm counsel, and if any delinquent shall make his escape, the counsel shall not...
Consul! Not counsel! Consul!
...be answerable for him in any manner whatsoever. So as you can see, let's go to article. Let's finish that. Let's study this real quick. So as you can see, who's the citizen, sir?
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Pauline Ritchie is.
Judge David Lawson.
Your interpretation of the law, based on your interpretation of law, I don't know anymore.
Sir, you're reading the document.
I know what I think is citizen of the United States.
No, not what you think, sir. I'm going to show you what it is in a second.
I'm acknowledging, sir. You're telling me that what I think is incorrect.
I'm not saying, I didn't say you were incorrect. I was asking you to look at who's the citizen and who's the Moor. That's what I'm asking you. Why are you complicating it? This is not complicated. It's in writing, sir.
No, you're just grossly misinterpreting it. I'm gonna let this run.
Is there any evidence in this case before this court?
I'll be right back.
Somebody got killed.
Sir, this. You don't know. See, you shouldn't be sitting there ruling on my land because you don't know what this document is. Your family lost the war to the Moors, sir. You surrendered to my people, and when you've listened and stopped playing games about you don't know what a citizen is. You think I'm trying to make something up. Follow this first before you start going after 1787. See, sir?
My family's living in Sjónfjord, Norway in 18th century.
Okay, sir. Look, let's don't go off into that. Let's just stay focused, okay? I see you have problems focusing. I'm going to have to help you, okay? You're a citizen. I'm a Moor, okay? Is that fine with you?
I'm a citizen, yes.
Okay. You're not a Moor, right?
No, I'm not Moor.
Okay, well then, a citizen is somebody that listen, go to Article 14. Remember, you are in my country now.
You got control of the screen, so you got to go to 14.
No, I'm not turning anything.
I'm not doing it.
Somebody's doing it. I can't access it.
It's magic.
Okay, keep going down to 14.
Are you doing it?
Stop right there. It says, see, sir, this is what the treaty is about. It's about you being rich. That's all it's about. But George Washington hid these documents from you. They need you to help this con game continue. Because if you know what's up, you would never do what you're doing. Watch what I'm saying. This document here is what your people negotiated to get after they lost the war. They were women. The Moroccan women. The commerce with the United States, which is with the Moors. Remember I talked to you about you owing us money in the Constitution underneath Article 6, the first paragraph. Okay? Shall be on the same footing as is the commerce with Moorish Spain, or is that with the most favored nation for the time being. It's none now. My job is to put it all back.
Archer.
And their citizens, which is not me, shall be respected and esteemed to have full liberty to pass and repass our country, sir, and seaports, our seas, sir, 7 seas, whenever they please without interruption, because you were doing commerce on our land. So I'm going to ask you, are you doing commerce right now?
No.
Well, you're in violation.
Archer.
Okay.
Okay, so now, wait. Now, you're saying you're not doing commerce, so then if you're not doing commerce, what are you doing?
I'm trying to run a court.
Well, you can't do it.
Okay? I'm trying to run a court here.
Then, sir, I have a question for you that can maybe short circuit this a little bit, because I find this very interesting.
It's not about being interesting. It's about being...
I know, but the thing is, understand that it's different than what I know, and you and I agree. Yeah, and you and I agree that what you think and what I think are different, and we can accept.
It's what the United States was created from, sir.
Right, but the ultimate question I have for you is what, as I'm sitting here, what are you asking me to do or not do in this case? In this specific case that's before the court, or cases, what are you asking me to do or not do?
Okay.
Dismiss.
Sir, you charge me with practicing law.
Well, at least the woman who is recording this is actually saying what she wants the judge to do. This guy decides not to do it.
On my land.
No, but that has
no, sir.
That has nothing to do with this case, because I don't get to charge people.
Sir, you're talking about citizens and Moors here. That's all you're bound to this treaty, isn't it? A treaty?
I understand, but
well, don't start being bound to something else, to understanding anything, because you're going to mess up the contract. I didn't ask you to change things. You're changing it, sir. Pay attention.
I'm not changing it. I'm not changing anything. I just.
Well, what are you talking about?
You want me to do or not to do today?
Well,
these cases.
Sir, what I'm going to have you to do is pull up my notice of appearance. You'll see what I'm talking about. You can't live here or have a job here, sir. You're pretending to be
So
a
you're
Moor.
asking, you want me to voluntarily leave the United States?
Sir,
Ha!
I'm kicking all of you out the United States.
You in what army, asshole? You in what fucking army?
You're not supposed to be here. What you're doing is, hold on. I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
You won't pay attention, and I'm going to have to force you to pay attention because you think you're not a citizen. Obviously, because you're sitting where a Moor can sit. Only a Moor can sit here, where you are, sir. That's what I'm explaining to you. What do you think you're doing? You're an interloper. You're a pretender. You're a con man. You're trying to con Pauline Richie Moore to come to this fake court that says you can't live here or have a job here, but you want to rule over her, sir. Is that correct?
I just want to, there's
You're bound to it, sir. I'm just asking you simple questions, man. You spin all the time. Don't spin here.
You asked me a question, I'm answering it. You don't have to agree with my answer.
I'm not agreeing to
Okay,
anything.
so
You
she's
bound to this.
charged, just a minute.
I know, right, Omega?
Again, you don't have to agree with this, and I'm not asking you to. But she's been charged by the city of Federal Way with a crime of false statement to public servant in one case. She's been charged with the same charge in another case, and she's been charged with criminal trespass in another case.
Okay, so I thought it was just trespass. So she has 2 other charges of false presentation of a public servant.
Criminal trespass is alleged to have occurred on February 8th of this year. The false statement is alleged to have occurred on December 10th, 2017. And the other false statement is alleged to have occurred on October 10th, 2017. Those are the 3 cases before this court.
I apologize for the scratching. That's not me.
I have no jurisdiction to decide the treaties between the Moors and the United States, whether the United States is owned by the Moors. I have no authority whatsoever. I have the authority to rule on issues related to City versus Pauline Ritchie in these 3 cases with these 3 charges. And that is it.
At least he's saying that, for God's sake.
No other authority to do anything.
Sir, I just read Article 6 to you, paragraph 2, telling you that you're bound. Some kind of way you spin your butt right around to the other side to bypass the treaty. I'm talking to you only about the treaty. That's the only thing you can talk about, sir.
No.
Okay, then what part
That's
of the treaty am I
thing,
like? What
sir,
part of the
let
treaty?
me finish talking. Let
Okay.
me finish talking. This is the only thing you're bound to.
Okay.
Why are you talking about something else?
What are you asking me to do with the treaty then?
Well, sir, your job, this is Muslim law, sir. You surrender. Your people surrender. This is what we're here for.
Okay.
You're a human trafficker. The treaty does not allow for you to take people. Somebody scroll to Article 16, please, because he seems to be a spin doctor, and he's got some other agenda. This is Morocco, sir. This is not the United States of America. This is...
Jeremy, you're right, because this is just aggravating the fuck out of me right now.
The United States of America is a business between the Moors and the United States citizens who are only to do commerce here and supposed to be rich is I don't know what. That's what this is about. George Washington hid this treaty from you, which is your birthright and my birthright. Simple as that. When you start using statutes and codes that you said you charge Pauline Ritchie with, you're a criminal. She's bound to this, you're bound to this, and you can't go to something else. That's what all of you lawyers are doing. You're all doing this. So
Hugh, this is in Washington State.
You're asking the court to dismiss the charges then?
No, I didn't ask you to do nothing. You're not the court, sir.
Okay, then
Sir.
why are we talking?
Sir, I'm trying
Then why are we talking?
to show you what you challenged me. You said I'm practicing law. Let's finish this part. I'm not practicing law. It's you that's pretending to be me.
Get to the fucking point.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you. You're bound to protect this. But you want to spin everything back to statutes and codes. You want to spin everything back to like you run stuff. You rule here. Sir, you're a citizen. You can only pass and repass our country and seaports whenever you might please. And it wasn't this far west either. Okay.
So then, does it have any applicability? Washington State didn't even exist at the time of the treaty. So does this treaty even have any applicability to the point? It does, because it's the United States. But my point is like, if this guy's going to make up bullshit, then so can the judge.
Okay, so when you talking to me, I can only talk to you about this, sir. I do escrow. I do law. My job is to protect, defend, and enforce this treaty. And when I see people like you talking about, well, sir, I'm gonna give you 5 years and some probation, I was like, this man is out of his mind.
Yeah, I know, Jeremy. He's going to the archaic pronunciation and spelling of Muslim law. Or, hell, if you want to even go further, like Musliman. I've heard that one. That's like even more archaic.
He must don't know he's talking to Moors. Do you know Mexicans and Moors?
And now Mexicans are Moors. Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
This is the original land of theirs too. This is my family. I'm here to protect them. Let's read Article 16, because I don't think you have a comprehension about you pretending to be a Moor. And you're saying, well, that's not what I learned.
Oh my fucking God, because the payment of 100 Mexican dollars for each person wanting, therefore Mexicans are also Moors?
But the Constitution is void too, sir. It's not law at all. It was never seen by the emperor. It says, in case of a war between the parties, and we are at war, because I have lawyers and judges saying that right in open court, okay? The prisoners are not to be made slaves. You made Sharon...
Mohammedans! That's right, Mohammedans. I remember that one be from like an old 1950s reel. 1940s or 1950s like PSA from Fallout from the Fallout games referred to Mohammedans. And the actual reel in PSA was actually very complimentary to the Mohammedans. Which was surprising to me, but it was actually very complimentary to
and other people. I mean, not Sharon, but Empress liked Tajiri Bay, made her a prisoner, a slave. You can't do that per the treaty, sir. And you're talking about you can lock people up. This treaty doesn't not allow for people to get locked up at all. But you're bound to this treaty. But I see you locking people up. Can't do it, sir. Can't do it. All you lawyers are quiet, huh? All your degrees are void on this land. All lawyers are forbidden on this land. Now, you don't like that? Judge, too, he's forbidden. He's not a Moor. You have to be a Moor here, sir. You can't live here. That's what I'm telling you. You're reading, even though you're reading it, it's ineffective here. All Moors are immune. But let's finish this.
Okay, sir, let me tell you what you've convinced me of, okay?
I'm not finished yet.
Okay, well...
I'm not finished yet. When you finish, you can give your conjecture.
I think you almost are. But
no, when I finish reading 16, you can give me your conjecture.
Go ahead.
Okay. In case of a war between the parties, the prisoners are not to be made slaves, but to be exchanged one for another, captain for captain, officer for officer, and one private man for another. And if there shall prove a deficiency on either side, we don't have any prisoners locked up. It's you, all you con men, you human traffickers. I'm coming to get all of my people. You're on my land. Get off of my land.
No.
This is serious. This ain't something where you can spin back to the statutes.
How about fuck you? And I'm not getting off my land that I was born in, raised in, and own property in. So, how about that?
Codes, Judge David Larson, you're not a judge here. At all. You better judge this. You start going outside of...
And thanks to that invalid, bogus constitution, I have the means to enforce my property rights.
It's the supreme law of the land. You're not using supreme law. You're using statutes and codes that y'all made up to bypass our birthrights, to rob us blind. You're not going to do that here. You're not going to take Empress Light or anybody else. You better hand me your oath of office and your bond. All you lawyers, too. Because you're human trafficking people. You got to stop. Okay? You got private people locked up. Can't do it. We at war. You're killing my people. And you're talking about, let's go, sir. No, you're going to take your time with this case because you challenged me. You charged me with a crime with your mouth, sir, on my land. I'm the protector, defender, and enforcer here. I rule this. You're not a judge. You're a pretender.
We run this shit.
You can't be a Moor. You're a citizen. Pay attention. You're out of bounds. Hand over your bond.
Okay.
Got a problem with that?
Anything further?
No, I'm not finished. I haven't finished since 16. I asked you to hand over your bond last time, and I need it now. And the rest of you. You're not going to be on my land practicing. Plus, federal way, the land belongs to me. I'm here to take it. Tell them that. Ask them about that email I sent them where it said, give me your bond, Mayor, and all of the rest of you. Give me your bonds. You scared? Provide them. You want Sharon? I mean, you want Empress Light?
Oh my fucking god. Oh my. Now he's reverting to fucking internet tough guy. Internet tough guy mode. You scared? You scared? 1v1 me, bro. Give me your bond. I'll give you my bond. Give me your bond. Your bond is bullshit, sir. I know, Mike, I know, right? That's exactly what's going in my head whenever he says, we built this. We built this city. All right. No, all right, I'm not singing.
You want to provide her, provide me with your stuff. You can't do nothing here on my land. Let's see. You got people as private men locked up. Can't do it with a treaty. And if there shall prove a deficiency on either side, it shall be made up by the payment of 100 Mexican dollars. Mexicans are Moors. For each person wanting, we don't have prisoners. I want all of the 2.5 million people in my hands. Right now, you're bound to it. But you want to play, let's spin back to the statutes and codes where I'm comfortable. This is your job here. Your job comes from here.
Sonny, if Pauline has a court date at 3:30 at 1:15, I am going to do my damnedest to attend live.
But remember, you can't live here, have a job here. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't even attend schools here. But you went here. You went to schools. You're going to fix all of that. You're going to leave my land. Human traffickers.
Okay, anything further?
Finish, yes, sir. Don't rush me. Okay. This time, your ancestors surrendered to my people. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. It's us and them. The Moors and the citizens. You haven't even gone through the treaty, but you're so impatient. You think you're going to rule today on something? This case here has something to do with Joe Biden. I sent this case to Joe Biden, sir.
Okay.
When you look at my appearance next after I finish this, because you're so you're so, I don't know what to call you, but you're not a judge, okay?
You're a citizen.
It is agreed that all prisoners shall be exchanged in 12 months from the time of their being taken. I asked the governor, Jay Inslee, to provide me or give me all my people years ago. He's hiding. He's hiding behind the Moors' power. You're using the Moors' power, man. You're putting Moors in prison with the Moors' power.
No, he's
not even a Moor. But you think, oh, the job you got, you can do, you can't do, sir, even if it looks right. It's a trick. You were supposed to be rich instead of having a job. That's what I'm telling you.
You're supposed to be rich instead of having a job.
Born rich, sir, and you want to fight against it. Think about it. You went to school for 12 years all the time. You were supposed to do commerce here and be rich. But you want to human traffic people. You think that's the real job. It's not the job here. You can't do nothing here, so you have to go. And yeah, you're going to deport yourself. You see it right here. Deport everybody. That's what I'm demanding.
You can demand it. I don't have to adhere to it. And what are you going to do about it? Fuck you. That's what I'm going to do. Come and take it. Come and take it.
But when you see my notice of appearance,
me and my cats will be defending my land.
And my charges, you'll know I'm serious. And yes, I am talking about our law is the guillotine for high crimes like this on our country. Now you think I'm threatening you? Where's your country?
Anything from the city?
Now the city is not a country, sir. You can't represent nothing here. Pay attention. You keep reverting back to you can do something. You on my land. You in my court. Pay attention. You bound to my court. Right here. This is a court order. Pay attention.
Actually,
okay, let's finish.
I'm trying to revert back to the fact that I can't do anything. And
well, let's finish. Don't revert back to nothing. Follow the treaty, sir. You do that,
just a minute, sir. I'm agreeing.
I'm the court, sir. What are you doing?
You're not the court. I apologize to this. One second. P. Rhymes for the $5 super chat. Artie, they believe there is no such thing as African Americans, only Moors. No, I completely understand that. I understand that's part of their ideology. Captain Dan the Fireman for $5 super chat. What is the significance of the whole treaties are equal to the Constitution thing? It stems from Article 6. Article 6 says that the Constitution and the laws of the United States, as well as the treaties that are passed under the authority of said Constitution, are the supreme law of the land. In other words, a president and a foreign power can negotiate, the executive can negotiate a treaty, right? But it still needs to be ratified by Congress. Once it's ratified by Congress, the text of the treaty becomes law. It is on the same plane as federal law, and it can be cited to in a relevant issue that invokes said treaty. So trade treaties, environmental treaties, and so on and so forth. Extradition treaties, right? So that's where they're getting this idea. The problem is, again, this treaty has no relevance to what's going on here.
Soldier, you're a citizen.
I'm afraid not, sir.
You're a citizen. I'm afraid you're a citizen.
I'm afraid not.
You're a bypass.
I agree with you and say that I have
You
no
can't
choice.
agree with the treaty, so
Yes,
you're not
sir.
bound. Provide me with your oath of office and
This
your
hearing
bond.
is concluded. Thank you.
Yeah, because you're a criminal.
End the hearing.
You're a con man.
End the hearing.
End this round. End it.
And end the hearing.
No, I want everything in the whole meeting.
Well, that's it. That's how it ends.
Thank God.
They know what they're bound by.
And we're done. We're finally done. It's all over. It's all over. Yeah, it's over, guys. We made it to the fucking